This is Hannibal here from The Hannibal TV on YouTube, and this is my weekly review of the points I find interesting in Dave Meltzer's Wrestling Observer newsletter. So let's jump right into it. I have not been watching much of AEW, but Maria May is apparently one of their top female wrestlers, just coming off of a feud against timeless Tony Storm that ended a couple months ago. Where she's been a couple months, this is AEW's policy of let's not job stars out before they leave and create new stars. Let's just take them off TV so fans miss them. Then they debut in WWE with a lot of with not only the fans missing them, but a push without being jobbed out. This technique clearly has not been working because they are getting lower ratings than ever and lower attendance than ever. Mike D, as far as Mike McGurk, there's a story about Mike McGurk's dad, Leroy McGurk, taking shots at Brian Blair. If you click on the clip I just posted from Brian Blair talking about his time in Mid-South Wrestling. Apparently, he says she cheated on him with Doug Summers. He tells a lot of tales. He also claims that Iron Sheik molested a ring boy, which is the real reason why they had heat. He will tell you it's because he tapped out the Iron Sheik at a house show. Keep in mind, Brian Blair is the only one that tells the story that he tapped out Iron Sheik. And then Iron Sheik's held a grudge against him since then. It's really because he accused Iron Sheik of molesting a ring boy. That's where the heat stems from. And then it became more of a gimmick over time. As far as this tag team title match on this Money in the Bank pay-per-view, Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes taking on John Cena and Logan Paul. Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio today is bringing it up. Nobody actually wants to see that as a pay-per-view main event. If you name the top 50 matches that you'd want to see Cena have on his way out, they just had Cena against R-Truth. I don't think anyone, well, they might be friends and they may have done that out of friendship. Although Saturday Night Main Event did get a good rating, 0.54. You can't really say there was a lot of demand for Cena against R-Truth. And then to have this tag team match on the next pay-per-view with no title defenses, it's just kind of disappointing. In other news, there has been a huge drop in viewership for Raw on Netflix. It's getting under 1,000 U.S. viewers right now. And keep in mind they had under 1 million U.S. viewers lately. And keep in mind they had almost 6 million viewers for their first episode. So there's been a huge drop. Hello, David. Yes, Mike, we will be working on that. I got Piper in 2012. She's 13 years young, doing really well these days. Wish I had her here, but I am in the U.S. and my ex-wife is taking good care of her. Vince McMahon is starting a new company called 14th and I, which apparently is his father's old business office in Washington, D.C. Apparently, even though they ran New York, the office was based in Washington. The purpose of this business that Vince McMahon has opened up is they are going to fund sports and entertainment endeavors. So far, they have not done anything. Although the Janelle Grant lawsuit has lost a lot of steam, it's still ongoing. WWE is going to run ECW Arena as NXT just before AEW's 7-event residency there. I do think AEW overkills. I know they get good deals, but like one show or two shows in ECW Arena is cool. When you go to 7 shows in a building that holds under 1,000 people, to me, that's overkill. It takes any of the uniqueness out of it. WWE is plugging AAA a lot on their main shows right now. It's still considered cool. I don't know if this is eventually going to get old, but right now, I mean, there's been good fan reaction to it. SmackDown in Savannah, Georgia last week had 6,792 fans. Raw in Tampa, Florida this week had 9,760 fans. The AEW pay-per-view Double or Nothing last week was 5.5 hours long, including comps. They drew about 8,000 people to the Desert Diamond Arena in Glendale, Arizona, near Phoenix. The arena holds about 20,000, so not even half full. But at least they're not calling it a sellout like TNA did an arena in the Toronto area last week that was literally half full, and they called it a sellout. And that's half that. They're saying it was half full. They're saying there was 2,500 people there, which is probably a rounded up number. And that arena can hold over 5,000 people. People that were there have been saying the arena was more than half blocked off. So it's a good crowd. 2,500 is a good crowd for TNA. Why do they have to lie and say it's a sellout? I mean, maybe that's WWE's influence. Who knows? Jordan Grace, who came to WWE from TNA, is now moving up to the main roster along with Stephanie Valker. She's going to be on the Raw roster now. AEW just finished their Owen Hart tournament. It ended in Las Vegas, not Calgary this year. To my knowledge, they're not going anywhere but Toronto this year. They haven't been to Canada in about a year after a tour that pretty much bombed last year that included false advertising people in every single city. And they didn't even use Martha Hart this year to present the awards to Adam Page and Mercedes Moné won the tournaments. And you know AEW in their tournaments, they've already started another international title contenders tournament. To me, my least favorite pay-per-view was always King of the Ring because and my least favorite WrestleMania of the original era was WrestleMania 4 because I always find tournaments for fake sports boring. It's just me. It's a fake sport. Tournaments mean nothing in a fake sport where the booker's making a decision. So to just have tournament after tournament after tournament, I think that's one of the reasons why people are abandoning AEW. Speaking of abandoning AEW, they released Abandon after 5 years with the company. Someone they've rarely used, as well as Bear Bronson has left AEW. Man, has anyone ever even heard of Bear Bronson? How much do you think they paid this guy for however long his contract was? I mean, I have to admit, I'm jealous of Bear Bronson. Whoever this guy is, apparently they let his contract run out. In the Billy Jack Haynes lawsuit, the family of his wife have filed a civil lawsuit for elder abuse against Billy Jack Haynes, who's currently in a mental hospital. His trial has been put on hold due to him being mentally unfit to stand trial. He's 71. His wife was 85 years old, who he allegedly shot February 8, 2024. To my knowledge, she has no money, but they're asking for $750,000. They're claiming that for the 5 years prior to her death, she was the victim of his mental, physical, and financial abuse. Apparently, he forced her to liquidate her assets for money. She apparently is the one that ended up purchasing the gun that he ultimately used on her because he wasn't able to purchase a gun, I guess, with his background. And he was refusing to let the family have access to her. And again, to my knowledge, there's no note giving him permission to kill her. This is him in his delusional mental state, feeling that he needed to kill her, according to what I understand. Did I play the AEW game? Yeah, she killed herself basically by having him convince her to buy the gun, which apparently she was mentally stable enough for them to approve her buying a gun. I stopped playing games at Super Nintendo. That was the end of my game career. But I've heard, I remember them saying that the AEW video game was going to turn business around, and the game ended up being a total flop. Am I going to move to Arizona? Maybe one day. I'm been in Kansas 6 months now, with a couple trips back to Canada to keep my Canadian residency. But I like it here in Kansas. I'm working on doing a movie here. What's up, Canadian Bacon? I'm actually not in Canada these days. I'm in Kansas. I met Dusty Rhodes at my FCW tryout. He came out after I did my promo and told everyone that's how you do a promo. And I'm sure he had a reason. He was part of the reason why they hired me, which sadly that hiring was rescinded due to catching Hep C from Abdullah the Butcher, who apparently is getting money from a book right now and having issues with the author, and he's still making tons of appearances. Total slime ball. Thoughts on Dusty Rhodes? I think he's overrated, to be honest with you. He's overrated. So there's the news for now. I'll be back with more news later. And I am interviewing Ivelisse Velez next Thursday, as well as Dave Drayson also next Thursday, the final manager of the original Sheik. And I have some RF video content that I will be posting soon. Mike, what am I going to interview him about? Being an interviewer, I guess? It's possible. I can interview him about being an interviewer. Dev, which is the WWF matches older hardcore cage match? You know what? I went to some of these Dusty Rhodes against Macho Man matches. The WWE had them headlining, and they were not good crowds. To be honest, Macho against Brutus Beefcake were good crowds. I understand people that like his promos. I thought he was a ripoff of Billy Graham. Marco, my next project is to finally finish my Blood Hunter movie, which I'm planning to finish in the immediate future. I am politically blackballed from wrestling, and I had a bad experience with Jack Kilby booking me and then canceling me and replacing me on some show. But the show ended up only drawing 100 people or so in the ECW arena. So I guess it's a good thing I didn't show up on it. But I think I've had really bad experiences with wrestling. I better stick to acting. Mike, for Primo and Epico, I actually feuded with both of them in WWC. I don't think they're happy with some of the videos I put out on Invader because they haven't answered me since I started bringing to light some of the stuff that happened in their family's promotion. And of course, I've called out Carlos for not being honest about pay. So I don't think I will be doing an interview with them for those reasons, but I did have good matches. Dusty was 60 when I was playing Super Nintendo, yes. I have actually written a book, David. There's a guy right now, my author is in the process of transcribing it into writing, which is a massive job. So By the way, we reached 452,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for subscribing, and thank you for the people like Mike and David, the longtime commentators. Appreciate your support. And Piper appreciates it too, Mike. I let her